Scary, isn't it?
What the hell happened? Where's everyone?
Martial law. Riots in Gollum spilled over into Prague. The entire city's on lockdown. No one but state police allowed in the streets tonight. They've all got itchy trigger fingers.
Wonderful. Talk to Miller? Tell him to meet me at the office?
He'll be waiting for you. Of course, you'll likely be shot getting there. Watch yourself out there, Jensen.
Alex, it's me. We need to meet.
You got a location? Because the streets aren't safe tonight, man.
Can you make it to the limb clinic, where we met before?
Yeah, it's not far. I'll meet you there. Don't know why he didn't listen. Let's see what we have. Fuck! Then why did he run?
What's the holdup? So?
So we killed a citizen.
The city's on lockdown. A true citizen would respect that. Get him in the truck.
Fuck, I'm glad you're okay, Adam.
I brought you a present from the Alps. Compliments of Victor Marchenko. Be careful with it.
Is this the orchid?
Yeah. Marchenko tried to kill me with it, just like he did Rucker. Think you can get it analyzed?
Yeah, we got a couple of scientists on the collective's mailing list. Some of them are already culling through the files you and Janus pulled from the bank. I'll let you know what they find. Oh, and we also ran a trace on that email you gave me, from Rucker. It originated from an unregistered pocket secretary in Hong Kong.
So we don't know who sent it?
Not yet. It's been shut off ever since. But we left a trace running, so if it lights up again, we'll know.
Good. Something big is coming, Alex. Ark's being framed for a terrorist attack that hasn't occurred yet.
They're gonna take more lives, blow up another train station? Jesus, Adam, look at it out there. Any chance we had of easing fears and fighting people's hatred will be gone. That piece of shit UN legislation will pass, and we'll all be thrown into AUG-only hellholes like Udalek.
While Nathaniel Brown sits back and earns trillions.
Brown? That slick suit from the Santo Corporation?
Page said Brown was calling the shots, and in Switzerland, Marchenko said Brown had confirmed date and time.
But where? Brown's been traveling extensively, promoting Rabia and his Safe Harbor initiative. His next junket's in London. But if he's behind this, he's not gonna attack himself.
Maybe not. Marchenko also mentioned someone who can tell us. But I have to meet with Miller first. How soon can you get the sample analyzed?
As fast as possible. If you're meeting with Miller, be careful. You walked into another ambush in Garm, and Miller's not off my suspect list yet.
We'll see.
talk. In private.
Nothing's more private than my info link.
I'm not so sure. I've sent a secure vid-call number to your smart home system. Get to your apartment and call me.
Verified. Agent Adam Jensen.
Delara, what are you doing here?
Is that going to become our standard conversation starter?
I'm serious, Delara. It's dangerous outside. Non-essential staff should be home. How did you even get...
Ouch. Non-essential.
I just meant...
Work with me, Adam. I was trying for a little levity. Truth is, watching Picus News, hearing that the mobs were getting closer to the city, I was reminded of... Let's just say I thought being 3 stories below ground was better than staying in my apartment. So, I called in a favor and got state police to escort me in. Listen, I can tell something big is happening, so I don't want to keep you.
You doing okay, Delara?
Look, Adam, I didn't tell you why I left Lim International. That I was in session with a patient when the incident hit, and that I was...
You were attacked.
Her name was Madeline. She was 13. A really sweet kid. One minute we were talking, laughing actually, about something silly I'd said, and the next she was...
It was a terrible day. For everyone.
After I fought her off, she just stared at me like she was totally aware, you know, but not in control. God, Adam, I could see in her eyes that some part of her was still in there, locked away. And she was terrified.
Delara, I'm sure the girl...
Madeline. Her name was Madeline. You know the part that I'll never forget, though? The thing that keeps just replaying in my mind over and over? Right before she jumped out of my office window, I could swear she was crying.
I didn't know. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound insensitive. But you made it through that, Delara. And I think you're stronger for it.
Thanks, Adam. Guess you just think you're over something, you know? And then...
I understand. But regardless of the reason, you took a risk coming back here. These are dangerous times for everyone.
You don't need to worry about me, Adam. I'll be fine. I'll just hunker down in my office until the storm passes. Besides, I hear I have a very comfortable couch.
Just take care of yourself.
I always do.
Three separate reports that suggest I do understand we are trying to stop terrorists here. Jensen! Thank God. I was starting to get worried.
That I wouldn't make it in here, or that I actually would?
What? I've been on the phone for the last half hour, trying to guarantee your safe passage through this city. Whatever you stumbled into at Garm is big.
I know. I've been trying to find out how big for a long time. They knew I was coming. Marchenko and the gold mask from Dubai. Somebody tipped them off.
Are you accusing me?
When I left here, you, me, and Chicane were the only ones who knew what I'd discovered. Solid proof that someone other than Ark was involved in this. But you and your bosses have been trying to pin everything on them, right from the start.
You're out of line, Jensen. I sent you after Ark because there were viable suspects in the train station attack.
And because Manderley ordered you to do it.
Yes, he ordered me to do it, but unlike him, I will not ignore evidence to close a case. You've been nothing but an insubordinate cock-up since Manderley put you into this unit.
Manderley?
It was his signature on the transfer papers. I checked. I can't believe we're arguing over this. Not when we need to focus. Chicane debriefed me while you were flying back. Leon sent in a strike team. Got there about an hour after you two slipped out.
And the mercs were gone.
Did a pretty good job of trashing the place before bugging out, and left a few booby traps behind. So we have no idea where they went or what they're planning next.
Not necessarily. I heard Marchenko talking to his men. He said something about finalizing a deal with the Diwali.
We need to move on this now. I'll get a search warrant for that old Diwali-owned theater on Zardibi Adlam Street.
You really think we have time for a search warrant?
No, but with the city under lockdown, I can't guarantee you'll make it over to the Red Light District alive.
I got here, didn't I? Nobody's killed me yet.
All right, fine. I won't stop you. Just be careful out there, Jensen. Let me know what you find.
Copy that.
You do understand we are trying to stop...
Peterson pulled his ID off the train station video. Due to curfew, MIA is still better now than everything else.
Can you hear me? You have to come quick. He's here.
Who's here? Who is this?
It's Daria. From the crime scene. Do you remember? I'm at home. Apartment across from yours. Please, hurry. I need you one thing.
Are you still there? Daria!
Heading back to patrol.
maybe one of these other clanks knocked
You
her
get
off.
off on this kind of thing?
Her father's been harassing everyone for
Say
news.
this.
We have fucking riots in Golem City, and a suicide tender cult on our hands. Get away. Hey, I'm not arguing.
Might as well walk around again.
Yes, good.
Any orc make it here.
Biocells, painkillers, right over there.
Adam, good. We need to talk, son.
What's going on, Seraph? Why the secure vidcall number?
I looked into Facility 451. It was a processing clinic, one of dozens set up after the incident to help augmented people recover. It was supposed to be places to heal, but they were run more like prison camps.
And?
And I don't think you got your new augs there. You said rescue teams dumped you in that clinic shortly after Panchaea collapsed, but your name doesn't appear on its entry logs. And it doesn't appear on any survivor recovery lists either.
They said I was a John Doe. Nobody knew who I was.
It wouldn't have been hard to find out. Your augmentations have serial numbers. Or at least the ones I had installed into Adam Jensen did.
Are you suggesting all my augs are new? Even the ones you gave me?
I'm not suggesting anything. I'm telling you, all the augs we ever installed had registry codes, and they're not hard to trace.
I know my augs, Seraph. It took 2 years for my body to get used to them, to unlock all their potential.
2 years? Really, Adam? One of which you don't remember because you were allegedly in a coma in Alaska. Look, son, all I'm saying is it wouldn't have been hard to identify you, but for some reason, that never happened.
Why are you so sure I didn't get these augs in Alaska? Orloff was there. I spoke with him.
You said he was using an alias, McFadden. I looked into it. Casper McFadden didn't exist until the day you regained consciousness, which was 1 month before you escaped the facility.
Okay, so where was Orlov?
Not in Alaska. He was with Tai Young Medical for a while, and in the spring of 2028, his name pops up once or twice in the Baltic region. Then he dropped off the grid, and McFadden shows up.
So what does that prove? Orlov is McFadden, and McFadden is Orlov. None of it connects him to me.
Except for the augs which Orloff designed and nobody else knows how to install, let alone make compatible with a competing system.
What are you trying to tell me, Seraph?
I'm sorry, Adam. There's not much more I can say. There's some conclusions you have to make for yourself. All I know is the deeper I dig, the more questions I have. Orlov might have had answers, but as soon as you found out he was in Prague, that he'd been visiting Prague periodically ever since you started working with TF-29's division there, somebody killed him. You tell me what it all means.
I can't. Not yet.
Well, if you ever do find out, give me a call. Until then, take care of yourself, Adam. Be careful.
Thanks for the help, Seraph.
My Interpol friend, it's dangerous for you to be out in the street tonight. What are you doing here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Oh, the killer is still out there. More victims have turned up. All of them augs, all harvested. just like Angela Gunn.
So it's the same person doing all this, and we still have no idea who that is.
I'm not sure where all this is going, but I've been looking at old case notes, and it's uncanny. Marek Svobotka, the old harvester, is supposed to be dead, yet this killer seems to... Little habits that were never made public. I even called the cemetery just to make sure Svobodka's still dead.
And?
He's dead.
That doesn't explain what you're doing here.
It's still my case, isn't it? And it's still open. I was hoping that maybe Daria suddenly remembered something. Hey, what about you? You know very well that your Interpol ID doesn't mean shit tonight. Hell, I should be arresting you right now.
Daria called me. She said she was in trouble. She said he was here. Then she got cut off. Is she in there?
I wouldn't know. I knocked and no one answered. I've been worried about her. So she called you, huh?
You know how she feels about cops.
Right. Look, you're not supposed to be outside tonight. I'll take a look around the building. You see if you can find a way inside. Hopefully we're not too late. Just try not to get caught, eh?
I won't.
Anomaly detected. Trace program initiated. Access granted.
perpetrated by masses of augmented in reaction to the sudden, unexpected death of Talus Rucker. The riots have many people.
Daz is the man.
Relax, Brad. The worst that can happen is that you'll get...
Biocells, painkillers, right over there.
I don't know where she is. All I know is she called you and not me.
I will try to find her
Cute,
somewhere.
doesn't it?
Come on, Hawk. Make my day. You don't think that what we're doing here is right? Is that it?
On a personal level, yes, this bothers me very much. Jesus, I'm not even talking about what our social responsibility is here. We swore an oath to protect...
You know, if you said a shit like this,
Můžete mě držet na pořád.
We're just following orders.
That doesn't mean it's right.
Fight it. Terrorist attack.
You know, if you said a shit like this wouldn't happen.
still this far, we are in serious trouble.
I want a lawyer. Like, terrorist attacks.
What are you doing here? It's after curfew. It's dangerous.
Serial killers are dangerous. Curfews are just inconvenient.
I beg your pardon?
Daria Mishka. Ring a bell?
I'm sorry, but I'm not at liberty to divulge anyone's personal information.
I don't have much time, so you need to start talking fast. Daria's in grave danger. That's if she's even still alive. If there's something I need to know about her...
Trust me, there's no hurry. The further men like you stay away from Daria, the better it is for everyone. You should forget it.
Why men like me? Look, I know about the email you sent her. I know you performed some kind of surgery. Why was it so important for Daria to meet you here?
I used to know Daria. She was a patient of mine.
Your patient? You mean here at the drugstore?
No, of course not. Before that, when I used to work for Taeyong Medical, big tech corporation. You know it?
Enough to know I don't like where this is going.
I headed a project. The cutting edge of neural science and cellular memory replacement. We dealt with people suffering from severe social disorders. We were making people better by making them better people.
How exactly did you make people better?
We found a way to isolate specific character traits. The idea was to use neural implants with imprints of desirable traits from select individuals and insert them into others who were, how should I say, less gifted. Take a man like yourself, for example. Could have given you a sense of humor.
I'm funny enough as it is. Now how about you tell me what went wrong? Something obviously did.
We were trying to help people. Imagine what it would mean if we succeeded. Anxiety, gone. Apathy, gone. Depression, gone.
Diversity gone, spontaneity gone, individuality gone. But you probably left that part out of your sales pitch.
Daria is responsible for what Daria does. The only reason Taeyong forced me to get involved is because so much is at stake for them. Big brand name to protect. I've met their lawyers, men whose briefcases are filled with broken teeth. You must understand.
I'm trying to save Daria. If any part of you cares about what happens to her, now is the time to tell me. What do I need to know to help her?
Daria is beyond help. You're wasting your time.
That's for me to decide. Now tell me about this procedure. And you can quit stalling, because I'm not going anywhere until I get the answers I need.
My job was to address people's deficiencies by integrating donor personality packages. That meant we needed lots of confident volunteers to donate time to our project. As you can imagine, people weren't exactly lining up to have a scrape inside their heads. So Taeyong had to diversify.
Once again, not sure I like where this is going.
Taeyong Medical cut a deal with various penitentiaries. Prisoners who took part in our programs, they got granted little perks, bigger cells, running water. The prisons, they benefited from facility upgrades. It was a win-win.
You implanted the personality traits of prisoners into the mentally unstable? Smart. Let me take a wild guess. Daria's donor was Marek Svobodka, better known as the Harvester.
Donor number 698843. All I saw, all I was given, was a series of test scores that showed a perfect match. Everything she was missing, he had. Nothing else mattered at the time.
Your pet project's been haunting the streets of Prague. She's been tearing people apart. Now I'm starting to think she wants to tear me apart. Sorry if all that inconveniences you, Doctor.
What is it you expect me to say? I followed procedures. The people who are really responsible for this, they're not the ones working in drugstores now.
Fine. So let's go after Taiyang.
Don't be naive.
You're really not helping your cause here. Give me something to work with. Tell me how to stop Daria.
All right. Look. We obviously want the same thing here. Daria has a neural chip installed just above the hairline. She won't let you get anywhere near it. So if you're serious about putting an end to this, you'll have to, you know.
What, kill her?
That would be my preference, yes. Or I suppose you could just incapacitate her, but then you run the risk of having her wake up. Not a risk I would take personally.
There must be another way. Something that doesn't involve attacking her.
I wish I could help you. Unless you're willing to meet violence with violence, Daria's not a victim. Chip or no chip, she is behind this, and she will try to attack you no matter what you do.
I don't think Daria's as responsible as you make her out to be. Taking her out and removing the chip is great for you. Gets rid of any evidence that might link her actions to your bungled experiment. But there's no way it's my only option. And there's no way Taiyang Medical would develop a sensitive technology like this without some kind of failsafe. I know you're holding something back.
Like what?
A weakness, an override. Something that allows me to talk to her without the influence of whatever it is you installed.
Well, there is an override phrase. Daria's been programmed to react to it with specific subconscious impulses that are designed to trigger a shutdown of the chip.
Why wouldn't you tell me that in the first place?
Because I knew you would overestimate what it could do. You're a fool if you think you can just walk up to a killer and say a magic word. It won't undo what she's become. The decision to act on Svobodka's memories, to repeat them, that was all Daria. Simply shutting down the chip at this point will not be sufficient.
That's for me to decide. What's the override phrase?
Ad hominem 2026. But I warn you, do not turn your back on her. And do not underestimate her responsibility in all of this. We all have terrible nightmares. We all have visions of sick and terrible things we could do. But we don't all act on them. You must be careful around her.
Over there. Until you're back.
Pro vaši vlastní bezpečnost byl vyhlášen zákaz vycházení. Je zakázáno zdržovat se na ulicích. Opakuji, zákaz vycházení na ulici. Jedná se o vysoké
tohle je určitě proti zákonu. You know, if you fed a shit like this wouldn't happen.
Next thing you know, they'll have me handing out fucking parking tickets.
thank God. I knew you'd find me. We must hurry, before he comes back.
Before who comes back? The man who killed Angela Gunn?
Yes. He knows you're after him. He wanted you to come.
So where is he?
He's everywhere. Can you not feel his presence? Are you not scared?
Why did he bring you here? What does he want?
He's using me to get to you. He thinks that by removing your augmentations, he can make you whole again. Quickly, come closer. Help me to get out, and then deal with him. Please, I beg you.
You can drop the act, Daria. I know what's going on here. I know there's no one else out there. I ran into an old friend of yours. The name Cipra mean anything to you?
You mean Dr. Cipra? Ugh. Where did you dig him up?
He's worried about you.
He's worried about himself. He's worried about Tai Yong Medical. They're willing to kill to cover things up, to preserve their precious image. Their reasons are savage compared to mine.
I don't believe this is who you are. Something changed in you after Cipra's surgery. Made you do things you would never have done otherwise, for reasons that aren't your own. But it's not too late.
Don't be so naive. I am who I've always been. Cipra's surgery, all it did was give me access to another man's technique, his courage to follow through.
I can still help you. Ad hominem 2026.
What did you do? Is that how machines pray?
Listen to me. The neural chip that Dr. Cipra installed in you is in the process of shutting down. Try to focus. This version of you that's been hurting people, I don't believe that was really you.
Then you don't know me very well. Why? Why should this change anything? The procedure gave me access to memory banks that weren't my own. The choice to draw on those memories was mine alone. You can't take them from me.
The shutdown process may take some time. There may be lingering effects, but that doesn't mean it's too late to help you.
You really believe that, don't you? All right. Prove it. Approach me. Come. Closer. Save me from all those horrible things Dr. Cipra did. There's nothing to be scared of, right? Surely whatever trace of the harvester was inside me is gone now that you've said the magic word.
You obviously need more help than I can offer, but that doesn't mean it's not out there. Whatever power the neural chip had over you should be diminishing now. You should be able to fight whatever urges Svobodka's memories inspired in you.
I don't need help. You do. You need to be saved. All Augs need to be saved. Svobodka inspired me to... I can make you human again. I have to make you human again to atone for what I am.
This notion you got that augmented people need saving, that there's something less than human. Look, I didn't know her, but I guarantee you Angela Gunn was a human being. Her humanity was defined by her ideas, her passions, the causes she believed in. It had nothing to do with whether or not she was augmented.
Svobodka never saw them as individuals. To him, they were victims of an age that terrified him. Mirror images of the monster he had become. He believed the entire race was under attack, that mechanization would keep our souls from migrating.
How does that sound like to you when you say it? Migration of the soul, victims of an age? I'm not talking abstract concepts here. I'm talking about people. Svobodka never saw his victims as human beings because it would have made it impossible to do what he did. He was sick, he was scared. Whatever he was no savior.
You're right. The more he killed, the easier it became. That is why he had to repeat the actions, ritualize them. It was a way of justifying his beliefs. If you kill one man, the memory is like an anvil. If you kill 7, you quickly forget the first. It all starts to seem inevitable. Surely it must be obvious to you by now. The Daria you came here to save no longer exists. She hasn't for a long time. All that remains now is his drive, his legacy, his cause.
His cause, not yours. I don't know the extent to which you're responsible for your actions. Whether you chose to be like him or whether it was completely out of your control. But you are different. If you can recognize that, then maybe you can start distinguishing his motives from your own.
Let's say that I can feel his presence receding. After all this time, maybe I can finally recover the person I was before she pressed procedure. That doesn't undo what I've done. How can I possibly be allowed to walk out of here?
It's not for me to judge you. I want smarter people than me to look into this neural procedure you underwent. Dig into Cipra and Tai Young.
So you're offering me a fair trial?
I'm not offering anything. But if there's any hope of moving on here, not killing anyone else is a good start. Society has every right to judge you, and it also has a right to hear all about Cipra and Tai Young Medical. I'm not an expert on extenuating circumstances, but I'd say you have an interesting case.
You were right before, about the override process taking time. I can feel him receding. Memories of memories no longer crashing against me like they did. Let me prove it to you. Come closer. I want at least one person to know that I'm no longer what I was.
All right, Daria, we need to get you out of here for real now. This needs to end.
The version of me who did those things to Angela, I cannot even imagine it being me, even though I know it was. Whatever happens now, whatever the authorities decide, I hope you believe me.
What's going on here? What the hell am I interrupting?
Detective Montag.
Daria's got a story to tell you. How you react may have something to do with your thoughts on experimental neural therapies and big medical conglomerates.
I don't understand. Where is the harvester?
I want to turn myself in.
One of you really needs to start explaining.
I want to confess to the killings of Angela Gunn, Misha Voracek, Pavel Klima, and Leonie Wolf. I also need to tell you about the neural procedure I underwent. It involves Tai Young Medical and a man named Dr. Nicholas Cipra. I hope you'll listen.
You can handle this from here. Just listen carefully to what she has to say.
All right, Daria. I think you should start at the beginning.
2 years ago, I signed up for a program sponsored by Tai Young Medical. They said they could help people to become better versions of themselves. It all feels so long ago now. Another lifetime.
I suggest you remember everything you possibly can about this procedure you underwent. Who was it involved? When it happened?
I'm not that person. I swear.
Then in the morning we'll go home, okay?
I can't believe I lost track of time like that.
It's okay. It's actually kind of romantic. Left on the one side, going to the next year.
I hate this web. Nothing. I knew it was nothing. So sex wasn't
Damn crooked cops.
Look, Nico, I need to get out of here.
All clear.
Stemmer.
Can't tell who might be out here.
Died, something would spark.
You shouldn't be outside tonight, Adam. Prague is no longer safe.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. I'm looking at a police barricade right now.
They will not let you pass. But I can help with that. I suggest you take cover.
Eliza, what do you have in mind? Subtle.
Now is your chance to get past them. Be careful, Adam. I do not want to lose you again.
Jensen, you still alive out there?
Yeah, just made it to the red light district. Any luck with that search warrant?
State police aren't even taking my calls. I'm afraid you're on your own this time.
Story of my life. But I got it, don't worry. Miller, the Duvalli own most of the apartments surrounding the old theater, isn't that right?
Yeah, and they're very possessive of them. So if you're thinking of getting in that way,
It's gone a little further than just thinking.
then expect it to zip straight past peaceful negotiation the minute they see you. Jensen, you said Marchenko needed to finalize a deal, right?
With the Duvalli, yeah. Not a lot to go on, I know.
Maybe not. But these guys are the best smugglers in the world, which means a lot of forged paperwork. You might find something in the Kingpin's office.
Assuming I can find that.
Should have grabbed a couple of watches before we torched the place.
Indeed. None of us are likely to forget the last time augmented people allowed their emotions to get the best of them. So are you a supporter then of the United Nations Resolution 3507? Do you believe the controversial human restoration act should pass?
Eliza, if members of the UN Security Council could see the Santo were guilty,
Someone should be on the upper level.
they were willing to put their support behind me and the Safe Harbor Initiative. Well, I wonder if they could make the act at all.
We have lost track of what made the Diwali great. This power struggle has been a long time coming.
Keep looking.
Same as always. Quiet.
Watch for trouble.
Loaded. They will pay triple what we agreed. That is good for business. But at what cost?
This is not a fucking discussion!
We can still limit the damage. We do not know what these people have planned for London. It could be...
I decide how the Valley do business, not you.
But it's Orchid. You want to deliver to the Safe Harbor Convention before it even begins.
Do you have shit in your ears as well as between them? Get the fuck out of my office! Now!
Miller, Marchenko is targeting the Safe Harbor Convention in London.
Jesus, there'll be hundreds of people there.
How fast can we move on this?
I'll warn London and get Mac working on a mobilization plan for them. You go home. We'll contact you there.
Alex, they are hitting London. The Diwali agreed to smuggle weapons and the Orchid into Apex Center.
Fuck, man, they want to take out Brown. He's their real target. I've been digging into him.
Get to my apartment. Explain it to me there.
I heard something.
Okay, let's go.
That was a waste of time.
This is the first time I've wanted a cigarette in 4.5 years. I shouldn't have drank them. I'm going to throw up.
Если соберутся на бурежине,
Back to patrol. Nothing so far. You are responsible for something. Act like it.
You say something? Nothing happening on my end.
Yeah, do that.
Feels like I'm missing something.
In the city.
Think we'll find anything?
Keep it down!
Should have taken care of this problem long ago.
Can't tell who might be out here.
Nothing.
We need to be out here.
You get off on this kind of thing.
Určitě proti zákonu.
Police. Say this.
I knew this era tanto
Toto jednou mluvila Romana. Pro vaši vlastní bezpečnost byl vyhlášen zákaz vycházení.
We got it wrong, Adam. Brown's financial prospects aren't as rosy as we thought. He stands to lose trillions if the Human Restoration Act passes.
That doesn't make any sense. Millions of displaced Augs will flock to Rabia.
And the city can't support them. Brown's been selling investors a pumped-up dream. The corporate city-state where like-minded individuals govern themselves while investors reap the profits.
Kinda goes against the idea of a one-world government.
Yeah, and if it fails, so does Brown, the Santo Group, and anyone else standing in the Illuminati's way.
So they want to kill a competing dream and get rid of their augmented problem in one fell swoop. I take it Brown's been campaigning against the act?
And unlike Rucker, he's got the money and influence to stop it.
What about the orchid sample I gave you? Marchenko's smuggling more of it into London. Were you able to analyze it?
Believe it or not, it's not a bioweapon, or at least it's not meant to be one. It's a genome editing drug. It targets the gene linked to AUG rejection and deletes it.
AUG rejection? Must be why I survived. I don't suffer from rejection syndrome.
What? Are you telling me you don't need neuropozyne? Shit, man, that makes you...
1 in a billion, I know. The orchid, Alex. You said it's not meant to be a bioweapon.
Right. The files you and Janus got from the vault, they suggest Reed's team isn't finished making the orchid yet. It's supposed to replace the deleted gene with an artificial one that accepts augmentations. But until they do, it's deadly. Darknet posted pictures of Rucker's corpse. If Brown and all his elegant, fancy potential investors get dosed, and Picus News broadcasts images of them, it's gonna send a message.
I'd better warn Miller. You can stay here if you want, till the curfew's lifted.
I can take care of myself. But when the task force hits London, keep me in the loop. Not sure what I can do, but... good luck, Adam. And be safe.
Miller, it's Jensen. Is McCready still working on that plan for London? Because there's another variable to consider.
You can brief him yourself at TF-29's airfield. We're mobilizing.
Copy that. How do I get there?
Damn curfew's still in effect. So if you can get to Chicane's place, he'll fly you to it. Miller out.
Biocells, painkillers, right over there.
That a ship like this wouldn't happen.
Arthur's not here yet?
He's already left for the main hangars with McCready's team. We're supposed to rendezvous with them there. Ready to go?
Yeah, let's go.